Cozy gaming has been some new trend, and it's finally hit your favorite Nintendo podcast. Welcome, my friends, to the Mario Matter, episode number 99, with your host, EmSwizzle or Max, from the YouTube channel, EmSwizzle. My friends, we are on episode number 99. It is historical. Next week, August 3rd, Saturday, at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Mark your calendars, set a reminder, tell your mailman. Listen, guys, it's going down, episode 100 next week, but I am here for the introduction to this podcast to introduce our guest, introduce the topics for today, and give you a little trailer, a preview of what is to come on this podcast today. So we kick things off, as always. This is a Nintendo podcast. We kick things off with Nintendo news. After that, me and our guests dive into our ranking of some of the most popular cozy games on Nintendo Switch. Cozy gaming, as I said, first line of this introduction, is a big new trend. Cozy games are those games that you can snuggle up with the blanket, sit back, relax, casually play. It's some fun stuff, and our guest today is big into that. And then after we rank those cozy games, which was a spicy topic, I'm recording the intro after the entire podcast. It was a spicy segment. After that, we dove into a Q&A segment where you asked me and our guests questions. And our guest today, our guest in question, is Min from the Cozy Gaming Nintendo YouTube channel called MintendoGaming. Min covers all sorts of cozy games. If you have played a cozy game, she knows about it, and she's also covered it. She does streams, videos, shorts, all kinds of cool stuff, keeps up with all of the cozy game news. She is on top of it, and she joins us for this podcast today. She's also a listener of the show, so that really made me want to get her on. It was a fantastic episode, great things to come, and I hope that you do enjoy. I will not make you wait any longer. Timestamps are in the description. If you want to skip to anywhere specific in the podcast, it tells you where to skip to. Feel free if you want to do that. But with that further said, without further ado, I was trying to say with all that said and without further ado, and I totally mixed those up. Without further ado, and with all that said, let's have Bruce Buffer read the intro for the podcast and get to all of the good stuff. Let's go.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Min, welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm so glad to be here.
We are glad to have you on. I've wanted to get you on for a while, believe it or not. Now, I watched one of your videos a while ago, and I commented, like, great video, and you were like, hey, I love your podcast. And from the day, I was like, aww, you're eventually coming on. So thank you.
I remember that, and I was like, is this real? And then when you added me on Discord, I'm like, is this real? So I'm a fan.
Indeed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We have some big news to dive into here if you want to get into the first piece of news here. Listen, this has been a developing story for the last 12 hours as we record this podcast. We record on Thursday here, so if anything comes out Friday, we apologize. We apologize. But we have a piece of news. I'll go ahead and read it off. We can talk about it afterwards. I just want to read some necessary info for the listeners here. There has been a huge Mario and Yoshi Lego set revealed. Now, this is... listen, whenever Lego makes something Nintendo, it's a great moment for everyone. And so, it's a Mario and Yoshi Lego set from Super Mario World, kind of the 16-bit pixelated Lego set. It's 1,215 pieces, and it has a crank, which will allow you to move Yoshi's legs and make Mario's cape flutter, and Yoshi can also stick his tongue out. It'll cost $130, and there's something else that I want to dive into, but I want to get your thoughts first, Min. Lego set, are we into Legos? Are we buying this? What's the word?
Yeah, I still haven't picked up the Animal Crossing ones, but this one looks so intricate. And then it's like $130. Legos are so expensive now, but they really get you with the fan stuff. Like, they are like, buy this.
I swear they used to be a lot cheaper. Now it's like, even with the Animal Crossing ones, did you see how like the most expensive one is like $80?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not. I mean, I bought it. I can't lie, but like, I didn't want to do that. Like, it's so expensive now. Like,
yeah, I like that this one's a little more like, it's obviously catered towards the adult fans. I mean, because it's so intricate, and and they put so much thought into it with like the movements and stuff. That's so cute. I love that.
I know when this was a rumor and they were saying like Yoshi's tongue might be able to stick out. I'll put a video on screen for the listeners here. When like they said that you could crank the thing and his tongue would come out, like that sounded kind of like a lot to me, like it wouldn't actually be real. No, it's a real thing. It's pretty cool. Now there's one other part of this Lego set that I want to like make fun of here. This is rated for ages 18 and up. Now, can I be honest? My 8-year-old self probably could have done this whole set. Why are Legos 18 and up?
Okay, I don't know if I could do it at this age. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really surprised they have a rating on that.
Yeah, it just seems like, I mean, it's not like a big talking point. I just like, why kind of thing. It's just why.
Yeah. I thought they were like 0 to 99, 0 to age 99 on some of these things. Like, I don't know. That's really
18,
interesting. Maybe
18 plus.
No,
Yep.
I don't know. The only thing I could think of is like an age limit because of like choking hazard for little kids.
Yeah, something. I mean, I don't know. 18 plus, I feel like lower ages could be doing it as well. It's $130, man. Do we have interest? Are we buying it?
I'm not buying it for $130.
No, me neither.
I'm not a big enough fan.
I mean, even still, like I do Nintendo stuff. You do as well. You know, you're also Cozy Game, some Nintendo. I feel like even some of the most hardcore fans aren't going to buy this. Like $130. Obviously, like some people will. It'll obviously sell, but I just feel like it's not very appealing to buy a $130 Lego set, no matter what it is. Honestly.
Yeah. It's also a lot of effort to put this together.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the fun part. And then afterwards, it's like, I spent $130. I have a Mario thing that I'll crank once every 6 months. It's just...
Yeah. I'm sure some people will get it and like love it. But yeah.
If I bought it though, I'd be broke. Start with that. I'd be broke.
Next podcast episode, you'll have it.
Next podcast episode, it'll be right here on this table. But we can get into our next piece of news here. We have some Splatoon 3 news. Min, are you familiar with Splatoon? If you're not, that's okay. But
this is one I want to play, but I have never played. So,
are you like familiar, like with how it is? Or
yeah, anything? You go around with the paint gun and like fill it with your color. There's different modes and stuff, but
Splatoon's very fun. It's one of my favorite franchises. I feel like you should try it. It's not cozy, unfortunately. Like you're kind of shooting. It's not the most cozy thing in the world. But Splatoon 3 has had new amiibo revealed. Are we into amiibo?
Yeah, I brought my amiibo.
Oh, look at this. The Pikmin one. That one just got restocked.
Isn't it so cute? I know. And I love it. I won't open it though. But
oh, really?
No.
You're a full amiibo collector.
Just this one.
The only problem like with that though is I think you can't use them if you don't open it though.
I know. I have to get another one so I can open one.
Well, I don't know why they make it like that, because you know, like your box there. Some people like to be collectors. I wish they would. Like, there's like a little gray thing that doesn't let you use them in the box. Just take it out. Honestly, I'm not sure why they don't want you to keep in the box. But this happened actually last week. I was kind of late to the punch. I believe it was last Friday, and I recorded last Thursday, so wasn't good timing for me. But we do have 2 new amiibo sets for Splatoon 3. Number 1 being the Alterna set, which is the story mode set. It has Callie and Marie, who were your news anchors and kind of main characters in Splatoon 1. Sorry, man, I'm getting real technical here. I'll just kind of breeze by it real
keep
fast.
going.
And then you also have the second amiibo pack, the Side Order DLC set, which has Pearl and Marina, who are from Splatoon 2. You have those two sets releasing. I didn't actually drop the date. I believe it's September 6th. It's $30 per pack, and I will say, I did pre-order. Can you guess which ones?
The newer one? The news anchors? I don't know. No, the two. I can't tell from your face. I don't know.
I bought the Callie and Marie set, the story mode set. So
I should have gone with my first guess.
I don't know why, but I did. Because if you buy both, that's $60. You can buy a Switch game for that kind of money. $30 per pack. Yeah. If you were into it, like, would you even collect these? I feel like, because I mean, I don't know. Like, amiibo aren't really used as much anymore.
I don't know. I got the Pikmin one because I feel like it's hard to get like good Pikmin merch. Mm-hmm. So I guess it depends on how much of a fan you are of the game, and if you like love Splatoon 2 or 3, then you're gonna want to get these. Like, I like to keep it on my shelf, so
yeah, that's like the best. Like, putting it on the shelf, best way to collect. I just feel like even with your Pikmin amiibo, like, it's great. I have the exact same one. They should use it in Pikmin 4. Like, I don't know why they didn't do that.
I know.
So because of that, it makes it hard to buy for me. Like, I'm not sure what I'm gonna use my Callie and Marie amiibo for in a story mode that I've already beaten. Like,
so you want it to have the purpose. Like, I feel like I just think of it as like an item to put up on the shelf now. Like, I guess they've become little like trinkets because some of them don't have purposes. Some of them do. Like, if you scan certain things into the Zelda games, don't they come up as like meat or something?
Yeah, it depends which one you scan, but yeah, it's like if you scan a random one that doesn't have to do with Zelda, it's like meat. It's like random items.
Yeah.
Even that's cool, but I'm sure these might do some pretty cool things. I'm just kind of thinking of the worst here, but I just don't know if I'll ever use them. But you do have a point though. Like, they are $30, but I feel like amiibos would be half price if they didn't actually do anything. Like, for example, if you saw those two as figures at like Walmart or something, $15. Like just figures, not amiibo. So there is that displaying aspect of it. I do understand that.
Yeah.
Our next piece of news, we can dive into this now. Man, do you like saving money?
Yeah.
I would hope so, because we have some first-party Nintendo Switch game sales going on right now, at least for our friends in the U.S. You're in the U.S., right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I look Canadian?
I knew that. I just wanted to like make sure because we were talking in like Eastern time, mm-hmm. So I think I knew. I just wanted to be 100%, so I'm not like leaving you out here. We have 4 major Nintendo-made games that are on sale right now as of this podcast recording. If you're watching in a few weeks, it might be gone. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is now $46 at Walmart. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is now $49 at Amazon. Breath of the Wild, Zelda, is now $44 at Amazon. Those games were all $60 beforehand. And Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now $54 at Walmart. Are you picking any of these up, Min? Do you own all these games, or?
I actually do own all of these. So, yeah, I kind of wish I got them for some of these prices, though. So if you don't have the games, you might as well go to Walmart or Amazon.
I own them also, unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately, because I own... It's fortunate because I own the game. Unfortunate, I didn't save any money. But for anybody who doesn't own 4 of the best games on Switch, I did want to bring this up because people like when I talk about sales, which don't happen often. Like, how often do you see Nintendo-made games on sale?
Yeah, it's hard to get them on sale physically. There was a sale a while back, and I got the Kirby's Forgotten Land one, and I got I don't know what other game, but I was like, oh, cool, they're actually on sale physically. I'll get them. So
it's like random Walmart sales or Black Friday. Like that's when you'll find them on sale. I think Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe on Black Friday for half off, $30.
That's pretty good.
Which honestly, that's what it should cost because it's a remaster. It's a remake actually. I called it a remaster and I got corrected.
Oh yeah, you will get corrected on that.
I think it's a remake, but even still, like that's on the Wii as well, so it shouldn't be $60. So thankfully, I got it on sale. But Min, I want to jump over to your realm, okay? Because we introduced you at the start of the show. Cozy gaming is kind of your thing.
Oh yeah, I love it. I feel like before it was a term, I was already into cozy gaming. Now it just has like this word that goes with it. So yeah.
Can I ask real quick? This is like I wanted to ask this question for so long, and I think you're the perfect person to ask. What is a cozy game?
It's so hard to define this. Because there has been a lot of like people on Twitter like going off like this isn't a cozy game, this is a cozy game. But for me, I would say it's games that are more casual to play. They aren't like Valorant where you're just like, shooting things
people.
down. You were saying in your last episode with like when you were describing Animal Crossing, like why you like it is because you can it's more open. You can do what you want. You can design it how you want. So a lot of them will have like similar themes like that. And I think other things that tie into them, like a little more cutesy, maybe more colorful, but not all of them have to be. Like there can be a little more like creepy cozy games. But typically like farming sims, story-based games, maybe even puzzle games. Not so much combat, but they can have combat. So yeah, it can be different for everyone, though.
That's a great way to put it, because I've had people tell me, like, it has to be a game that you can snuggle up with your hot coffee. I'm like, that sounds great, but if that's the case, I can do that with, like, Call of Duty. So I didn't know, like, what I could be considering cozy games, but that's actually a great definition. Like, casual stuff. You can kind of tell when you see one. And I bring it all up because we got a new game that people are considering cozy.
Yeah.
And it's free, and it was shown in the last Nintendo Direct. The new Denpa Men, which is a brand new game, has released for Nintendo Switch as of July, what was it? I think it was 23rd or 22nd? 23rd. It was one of these days, and let me tell you a little story, and then we'll dive into... You haven't played it, right?
No. And if I had known it was, can I say it's free?
Yeah.
If I had known it was free, like, I would have downloaded it sooner. Did it say that in the Direct? Because I didn't even know. I wasn't keeping tabs on it as much because I'm like, but it came out quick.
I think they might have said it. I forget. I don't remember them saying it's free, but I remember just like knowing a few days after that it was free. So I'm not sure if they announced it like when they put it on Twitter. I'm not sure, but
yeah. I remember seeing this in the Direct and being like, is that Tamagotchi?
Same. I was the exact same. Oh my God. Like that first frame when they showed what looked like a me.
They look so much like me's. It's so crazy.
So this game released. I have some strong thoughts. It'll be in our next segment, so I won't dive into my full thoughts yet, but here are the facts. It released. It got 100,000 downloads in a day, which is a lot. It's free, but that's a lot. Once again, I'll be discussing it later, but I will say this. Man, I've played the game. It has a lot of issues.
Really?
Unfortunately, I shouldn't say a lot, but a lot of the same issue. A lot, like there's one issue that happens so many times. Actually, there's actually two issues that happen a lot. It's kind of a mess, man. It's kind of a mess.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it. I'm really curious. I downloaded it downloaded it last night but I'm like, well, I'll wait to play it so I don't have like half thoughts on it.
Yeah. But do you want to go ahead and talk about it? We can get to our next segment, which is the title of the podcast and the main thing that we are doing here, ranking cozy games on Nintendo Switch. Are we ready to do so? This could be a spicy topic. Could offend some people. Potentially. We haven't done it, obviously. Could offend some people. Hopefully not. But
I'm so interested on your thoughts on some of these.
We're
I
gonna
actually
see.
don't know what some of your thoughts are.
Likewise. Dude. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's get to our spicy segment, our main segment. Let's rank cozy Nintendo Switch games. Let's go. My friends, spiciest segment of the entire podcast in its history. We are ranking cozy games that are on the Nintendo Switch platform, and we are not holding any punches back. We have some of the biggest. We have Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, Disney Dreamlight Valley. There's 2 games that end in Valley. Okay, I didn't even know that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But we have all of the games here on a tier list, from S tier being the best tier and D tier being the worst tier. We have 8 games. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our 8 games here, not 5 games, and then we can begin. So first we have Animal Crossing: New Horizons, everyone's favorite, probably the biggest one. Stardew Valley, Disney Dreamlight Valley. I threw a curveball in here and put Endless Ocean Luminous. That was kind of thrown around as a cozy game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Moonstone Island, the new Denpa Men, which I have some thoughts on. Little Friends. It's Little Friends what? Friends
Puppy Island.
Okay, thank you, because it's like too small for me to
it,
read.
yeah.
I can't read it. And Fae Farm as well, which is also another big cozy game. So let's start with our biggest one. Maybe controversial, I don't know. Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Min, let's start with like our thoughts on the game. We can kind of go back and forth, and then we'll find a ranking for it. I'm gonna start with you. Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Thoughts? Is it like your favorite game? Just sell me on it.
It's definitely one of my favorite games. I put so many hours into it. This is my first Animal Crossing game though, so I feel like if you've played the New Leaf or the other ones before that, I know that fans have like things they wish were included in this one, so that could change some people's rankings if they're ranking against the other games. But yeah, I loved it. I'm not even big on decorating, so for me, I'm not one of those players that kept playing it for ever and ever after the updates were done. But when they added in like the DLC, I bought that, and I liked that because it made it easier to decorate. It wasn't so much like effort. So, but if we're talking about just the base game, I guess, yeah, it's super solid. You can put so many hours and time into it, and it's very open-ended. You can kind of do what you want. There's so many things that the community brought into this game to make it more fun, like people doing like relay races and scavenger hunts, and even things you can do on your own, like finding villagers that you want and all of that stuff. So I feel like there's so much to do in it. You can put so many hours in, and I feel like that's why this game has stayed so relevant. So yeah, what do you think though? Because you've played the other games, right? You ranked them. Didn't you rank them or something?
I ranked them on my second channel. Yeah,
okay.
I ranked them all. I won't say where I put. Well, I can say it. I put New Horizons just below New Leaf at the number 2 spot. But yeah, I mean, I can't compare New Horizons now to the previous games because we're ranking like Switch cozy games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in line with what you said. It's tough. It's tough. I'm trying to like, is this just an automatic S tier? Because it's my second or third favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's gonna be an automatic S tier. But
I feel the same way. I was looking at that one. I'm like, I'm glad that's first because that's easy.
Yeah. I think it's an automatic S tier, as you said. Just I feel like it's one of the cozy games that you can like put more time into than, as opposed to the other ones. I feel like, you're designing a whole island and like every day there's something new. I feel like, in some other games have that too, but like, I feel like Animal Crossing, you can put probably the most time into. Multiplayer though is a different story. It's not the greatest, but I'm going to go ahead and drag Animal Crossing New Horizons to the highest tier, the S tier.
Yeah. And I don't know the history totally, but I'm guessing that this is when cozy games started becoming a thing, and like a term is with this launch, because it was in COVID. Everyone bought this. Like, I bought a Switch and then I bought this, and I'm like, okay, let me play this game, and loved it.
Did you buy a Switch for New Horizons, or just like it just happened to work out?
It's just, I was so bored and I'm like, I have nothing to do, and this game had just come out, so I was like, I'll get that. It looks cute. It looks like something I'd like. I don't know. So
yeah, I had never really heard of like the cozy game term until like, honestly, like maybe it was some fall. It was either last year fall, like like last September, or like the one before that. I kind of forget.
Yeah, maybe a couple like months or maybe a year or so after this one launched. I don't know. But
somewhere in that range, yeah. Because it's a new term for me. I mean, I just learned what it means today when you explained it to me.
Hopefully I'm right. Like, everyone seems to disagree.
It's all good. But our next game, another big one.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley, it was made by one individual. That's like the most impressive part, so I kind of have to bring that up.
Yeah.
Farming heavy game. Honestly, you've probably played more than I have, though. So I'm gonna start with, I'll probably start with you every single time. I'll start with you here. Sell me on Stardew Valley. What do we think?
This is one of my favorite games, so I'm biased, but I love this game. I have my Junimo shirt on, and I have like a lot of the Stardew merch. I love Stardew Valley, and even though I've played hundreds of hours, I still haven't scratched the surface of this game. Like, I constantly start over. So there's a lot of end game content. It gets free updates. The Switch sadly has not yet gotten the most recent update. He did post actually recently that the dev Concerned Ape that he's working on it, but I don't know why it takes so long. But yeah, this game was highly inspired by my favorite game franchise, which was Harvest Moon, which is now called Story of Seasons. But yeah, so that was a big seller for me. When I first originally played this, I was like, do I want to play pixel art? And I kind of didn't. I was like ready for newer graphics, but now I'm like obsessed with pixel art. So I feel like it kind of brought that trend back too. But yeah, you do farming, there's mining. So the mining does have combat, but you can kind of avoid that and let that be that part of the game, and you can do more of the cozy stuff. You can do decorating. There's like a good grindiness to it that keeps you going because you're collecting items to build up the community center, and then you can unlock more things later on and like other areas on the map to go to. So it just feels like this game that just keeps on going, and it's got a lot. It's got a lot to do, just like Animal Crossing. It has a really good community behind it too. And I would say Animal Crossing and this one are like the two games you explain to people like what cozy games are. You're like, oh yeah, like Stardew, like Animal Crossing. So yeah, but I want to know about your experience playing it. Have you played many farming games?
Yeah, one thing that you mentioned, you like Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons. Sorry I didn't put either of those on here. I have never played a Story of Seasons. I have, I think, Friends of Mineral Town. Is that it?
Yeah, I have Friends of Mineral Town. I
have it, and I've never touched it, unfortunately. I do own it, though. I would be interested in playing it. The only thing that has turned me off is, like, it just seems, and I'm probably wrong, but, like, my impression of it seems to be, like, a farming-only game. I'm sure I'm wrong, but, like...
Yeah, so that game is a remake of a game that was on the Game Boy. And
know that.
that was my favorite game growing up when I had my Game
Oh.
Boy. So when that came out, it actually came out after Animal Crossing. I remember because I like pre-ordered it and everything, and I got a little strawberry cow with it. And yeah, so I was so excited to play it because it was like my childhood game. So I have a bias towards it in that way. But Stardew Valley was highly inspired by that being one of the games. So it does have some of the same elements, but the art style of the remake is so different.
Yeah, I have to get into it at some point, and then we can have you back on and talk about Story Season.
Yeah.
But for Stardew Valley, so I haven't checked my hours, but I've probably put in like 30, 35 hours, which is not like a crazy amount of time, but it's like enough to kind of experience the base game, kind of get a feel for it. I've been on like friends' farms, I had a save file on their farm, and I've also had my own farm. It's a good game. It's a real good game. I found myself fishing a lot, just making the most money that I can.
Do you like the fishing?
It's a little bit difficult, but I can't say I don't really mind it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like a challenge, but a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah, like you spam A and like get
you gotta stay in the meter. Yeah,
it's all right. Could have been worse. I fished most of the time. I would grow some crops. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even get to like. There's combat, right?
In the mines.
didn't even like get to there, so I can't.
Did you mostly play multiplayer, like co-op?
I think mostly, yeah, mostly multiplayer. And when I was doing that, me and my friends would just like fool around and like grow some crops.
Yeah,
but I can get the gist of it without being able to comment on everything.
Yeah, but I think the multiplayer is better than Animal Crossing's, at least.
Oh, 100%. Oh my gosh. It's just better overall and better, like, there's no disconnects or anything. It's just very solid.
Yeah.
I like the dialogue of all the villagers in town. Honestly, I do like the pixel art. And I like it a little bit more than a lot of these other games that we have on the list. Now, this is one of your favorites, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is like, it's not a forgettable game for me, but like, I haven't really gone back to it over and over. I think, so you would have it at S tier. I might have it at A or B. Do you want to settle for A tier on Stardew?
Yeah. It hurts a little bit.
We don't have to. We don't have to. Because if it's one of your favorites, we can't put it at S tier. I feel like
it's a staple of cozy gaming, especially on the Switch. It's $15, by the way.
We can do S tier. We can do S because
I'm bullying you into the S tier.
No. But your love for it and my like A tier, B tier, I think your love for it boosts it to S tier. So we can do S tier.
Thank you. Yeah.
For Stardew.
Okay.
Let's put Stardew.
The two staples up there.
There we go. Animal Crossing and Stardew at S tier.
Yeah. Okay.
We're starting off a little bit maybe expected, but our next game kind of all over the place here.
How much of this did you play? Did you play this?
A couple hours. I mean, listen, like I'm more into like the Legend of Zeldas and the Nintendo stuff. So I have not sunk too much time.
Were you hoping
Dreamlight Valley
that this would be like Animal Crossing? Because people kept saying that.
A little bit. I do really enjoy Disney games. Sorry, I didn't even say the name. Disney Dreamlight Valley. Disney Dreamlight Valley here. I like Disney games. Have you ever heard of Disney Magical World for Switch?
No.
It's a fun little. It could be cozy, but it's not like a cozy considered game.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun, like you're in Disney World and you're doing all these things. I like Disney games, like a lot of them. This one though just felt. I'm not sure how to word it or if I'm even correct. Disney Dreamlight Valley to me, and it's not to hate on a game that maybe you love. I'm just giving my little take here. It felt very corporate in a way, like I'm paying microtransactions. I don't have to, but like that's one thing that I kind of sometimes don't like.
Well,
'cause
did
that's
you
a
know
thing,
this
right?
game was supposed to be free?
I did. And so when it came out, man,
Yeah.
I was waiting for like a year for it to become free. And then when they said, nope, sorry, we're not going to be
Ooh.
free anymore, I was like, all right, fine, $40,
Yeah.
whatever.
How much is it? Because some people paid like $70 for extra premium packs. I don't even know how much this game is anymore. But yeah, and then it also has, does it still have microtransactions? I guess so.
I could actually be wrong on that, but I did hear that was a thing.
I think it does, or it did, or some part of the development on this was really weird. It was an early access game that you paid for that was on the Switch and on other platforms. The Switch, it didn't run well at all at first. It might run better now, but you could also cross-play, so if you played on your PC, you could play it on your Switch, so that was a cool thing about it, but it wasn't, like, some people didn't even get the thing. They paid for extra premium packs, didn't even get them. There was just so much weird stuff. Also, Nintendo Switch doesn't really do early access games. Like, it doesn't disclose that. So for someone who's just a consumer scrolling through the eShop, you wouldn't know that this game would possibly be free or that it's early access.
That was my biggest thing when it came out. I think I made a whole back when I was new to YouTube Shorts. I was I was just making whatever. I think I made a short on this. I'm not sure what it was about, but kind of highlighting how it says it doesn't say early access anywhere on the eShop. But guys, this game is gonna be free in 8 months because it was gonna be until they said we're not gonna be free anymore.
Yeah.
So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way at first, how it as you just said, it looks not gonna, how do I word it? It doesn't seem like it's an early access. It seems like a full game, $25, pay now, it's done.
Especially with the Disney stamp, you'd think they'd just, have a lot of money to make a game and just put it out fully. So kind of weird. But yeah, in the game, you make your own character and you start out with a few Disney characters that are I forget what I guess it's Dreamlight Valley. Yeah, you're living there and you have a house. There's a lot of elements that I think they tried to take inspiration from Animal Crossing, maybe. At least that's what the community kind of said at first, with the decorating and with the villagers being Disney, and you have to go and basically find these other Disney characters and then do some quests and bring them back. So it's a lot of quests. It's a lot of running around and doing stuff, but they do have a lot of cool outfits and cool decorations and a lot of stuff in the game, which I think a lot of people like. Also, Inside Out 2 came out. They did some special thing for that movie. So then, and that was limited time. So then it brings people into the game. So it's a very interesting game. I think it's a good premise, but personally, I didn't like this game. I felt like it was super questy, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to do all these quests. I like to feel like I kind of have my own things to work on. And even though Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing kind of have quests, they do it in a way that doesn't feel like that it's the whole gameplay. And this one felt a little too questy for me.
Yeah. And what you were saying is the special events, the Inside Out 2 stuff, that was kind of what was gonna bring me to the game. I was all excited for they're doing these consistent updates and everything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I got into it and I haven't played since February. It's been a while. I'm just, it didn't hook me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like a awful game or anything.
Yeah.
It's just kind of middle of the road, maybe, as you said. It's not your favorite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially with it being paid now and they promise free and all that stuff. I feel like that kind of pushed it down even more for a lot of players. And you have to buy there was some update and you had to pay for that. Which is just crazy because this is Disney. Do you really need the money that bad?
Exactly.
So
we're paying for updates.
Yeah, pretty interesting one. I would say maybe like a C.
That's what I was
Okay.
thinking C, but I was worried if that was too low.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would
Are we
say, like,
saying
C.
C tier?
Yeah.
We're in agreement. Disney Dreamlight Valley. We're sorry if you're listening and that's your favorite, but we're gonna drop Disney Dreamlight Valley at C tier. But there's a little bit more. There's worse to come here. We have our next game. Do you want to introduce this here?
Yeah, this is Endless Ocean Luminous. And there have been other games in this series, but I've never played them personally. So there's that whole topic again with like people who were really excited for this because they played the other games and they like wanted it to be like that. Apparently it wasn't. And then there's people like me who this is my first one. I was excited about it because there's not really a lot of diving games on the Switch. And this is a Switch exclusive game too. So you have to buy it on the Switch. It's $50, right?
I believe so.
I think
yes,
so.
I think so, yes.
Which is
been a little bit. Yep.
Overpriced for this game. But if you're in like an achievement person, you might like it. Basically, you dive underwater. There are story modes, but there's also like up to 30-person player modes, which is really confusing because I would go in to play those thinking you could only play with your friends and there'd be like random people swimming. So I don't understand how that works at all, and it's not explained. There's like an AI voice a lot of people hated. I didn't really care that much, but that's who tells the story and narrates the dialogue. But basically you go around and you scan fish and you can find some really creepy ones. You can dive over these really pretty large maps. And if you're doing that on your own, like that's really hard, but you can save it and go back to it. But when you play multiplayer, it can be pretty fun. So I didn't hate this game, but I will say I didn't really go back to it. I was like, I'm kind of done. There's not really that much to do, but it's definitely a cozy game. Like it is kind of relaxing if you like the ocean and you're not scared of it. But
yeah. Listen, I've been holding some punches for our last two games. I didn't.
Okay.
I wasn't too experienced with the Stardews and the Dreamlight Valleys. Endless Ocean Luminous. This game. Okay, so you introduced it. You're diving around. I've just got multiple complaints. So I want to touch on one thing that you were saying, which you're totally right about. When you go into those multiplayer dives, as you said, there's a few problems here. Number one, you brought up how, it's only your friends who are invited to kind of swim. You get a code and you give it to your friends.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, first of all, because it's 30 player online.
Yeah.
Where am I going to find 30 people who own Endless Ocean Luminous?
Well, this is what I was confused because I played this like by myself in bed and there was people playing in there and I'm like, I didn't give the code. No, you know what I might have done? Can you just enter one? I don't know.
No. Here's what I was going to ask.
I was like playing with other people and I'm like, I don't know who these people are.
Were those people, did they have Japanese names?
Yeah.
Yes, because it happened to me too. I think those are bots, honestly. Because it happens to, I think, everybody, and they shouldn't be bots. Like, they should be, named bot number 1. Like, they should tell you. But
CPU or something, I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is, because you can join the game. You can probably get in one of those. Well, I was going to say with no internet, but they probably wouldn't let you. You can get into one of those, in 10 years when the game's dead. I think those guys, those Japanese usernames will still join because I once went up to them and tried doing the little emotes and stuff.
Yeah.
They just swam right by me.
Maybe they are.
I feel like they're bots. I have no proof or anything, but I just feel like it's so weird because you have to join via a code and I didn't give these Japanese guys my code. I don't know.
Yeah, I was so confused. Did you play it though with friends in the multiplayer mode at all?
Yep. So I've played online, and the online is really good. There's no issues with it at all. That sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm serious. There's no issues with it in my experience.
Yeah.
My problems with the game here. Number one, like you said, it doesn't really keep me coming back to the game, and what makes that bad is they even added in-game events to Endless Ocean Luminous, and even not even those brought me back to the game, which is a red flag in my opinion. The other thing is the story mode. It's not the AI voice that's the problem. It's the fact that some of the story mode levels are just cutscenes. Like, you don't do anything.
Yeah.
The last thing, the last problem that I have here is there's some moments in the story mode where you're getting all riled up. You're swimming with that other guy, with that, NPC guy. And let's say this was one level. There was a shark coming by. They played some intense music. It was seeming like this big moment in the story mode. And it ends so anticlimactically, like the shark just swam away and nothing happened. I thought we were going to have this huge story mode scene where we, swim away all intensely. No, it just ended. Like the shark swam away.
Yeah.
It was just a poorly made story mode. The game is fun, but the other last thing that I'll say, because I'm kind of like rambling on here. When you do a dive solo or with friends, once you find like the first, there's like what, 400 fish, 500. Once you find like 200 or so, it's so hard to find any new ones.
It's really hard.
It's so hard. Like every single one is the same.
You find a new one, you're like, oh, actually, it's a new one. Oh,
yes, like that's exactly how it is.
The same too.
Yeah, like there's no way to tell the difference apart from like when you scan. There's like a question mark or whatever it is. Like when there's a new one, it's so hard to find new fish. So I'm not going back to it over and over. It just kind of flopped for me.
Yeah, and for the story mode to progress, you have to go into the dives, so you can't just play that. But I did play it with friends. It was really fun and funny, but I feel like we kind of were like making fun of the game maybe a little bit. But it was fun. And what did you think of the graphics before we pick for this one?
They aren't too bad. The only complaint I can give is it's 30 frames per second as opposed to a smooth 60. That's the only nitpick. They aren't terrible, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I feel like it could have looked really cool. Like, and I don't know.
Maybe I'm just used to bad games. I don't know. But
yeah. And sharks don't chase you or anything. There's no danger, which I guess makes it cozy. But it would have been kind of fun maybe to be like, oh, I got to get a picture of this really strategically because I can't get near it. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, anything like that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we can, go back and forth. I'm thinking Endless Ocean is at D.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I did a video, but I also had an extra tier and I put it in C or something, but I think D is fair, especially because you want to have that good replayability to have a good cozy game.
Yeah.
So.
And you haven't played it since when?
Since like a couple weeks after the release, probably.
No, I'm the same, like mid-May. It came out May 2nd. Yeah. Like
also,
mid-May.
The pricing for this, like Stardew's $15, hundreds and hundreds of hours. You could play hundreds of hours in this, but you probably won't.
No. $50. I'm used to it just because like every game is that price, but it really shouldn't be. It should be 30. 30 is a great price.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, honestly, it should be lower, but 30 is like we can agree on 30.
Yeah.
50 is wild. But and last thing, I was really big on this game. I was real excited for it. And when I came on this very podcast, I had good things to say. Yeah. I did have some bad things to kind of say, but I did say it was for a niche audience. It won't be for everyone.
Yeah.
Now, 2 months later, I'm like, the game's not good. Like it's not the greatest.
That happens with me too. I'll play a game. At first, I'm like, this is pretty good. Like, I like it. And then that feeling wears off over time. And that definitely happened with this one, too.
Endless Ocean Luminous, we're going to drop at D tier. Now, Min, our next game here, Moonstone Island. This just came to Switch, right?
Yeah. And it released on PC last year. So this game is really cool because it kind of mixes the Stardew Valley elements of a farming sim with Pokemon elements. So it has a bunch of spirits in the game. There's cute ones that. And they're like adding them all the time. It has like Studio Ghibli movie references in some of these spirits. So there's a lot of like fan elements of other games that are in this one game. So you can romance the NPCs. You can collect different creatures. You could do card-based combat to collect the creatures. You fly from island to island, kind of Zelda-y vibes. And you go to these different islands and then you find different spirits there. So there will be like fire islands and like all different elements within the islands. Like Pokemon kind of has the different elements. The spirits have different elements too. So it has something, I think, for everyone. It's super fun. I'm really glad it's on Switch. It's running pretty well on Switch too. And I really like this game. It definitely doesn't have as big of a fan base though. Like it's an indie game. But it's really good. I would definitely try it.
Yeah, and I definitely need to try it. So how much is it on the eShop?
I don't know actually.
And for the listeners, I put one game each for only one of us to talk about. So Min has Moonstone Island. I've never played Moonstone. The next game, Min has not played, but I have played. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to, kind of sell me on Moonstone.
Yeah.
This is one I've not played, but I've heard a whole lot about.
So I think it's about $20-something. It also has a ton of DLCs that you can buy. You can buy like a whole pack. When it first released on the Switch, they had a deal where it was on sale for the whole. You would get like all the DLCs and you would get the future DLCs. And they have a DLC or an update coming out where they're adding cooking into the game. So yeah, this is a solid game if you want a game that's still getting updates and is fairly new, and it's probably going to keep getting updates because it is new, and you like Pokemon or you like the life sim elements. You can lean into different parts of this game, and the farming doesn't take priority, but it can help you. So it has purpose. Like the things you grow, you can use to tame new spirits in the battles, or you can use them to like gain HP back during the battle, or to like bring down the other spirits' HP and stuff. There's also like dungeons. There's a lot in this game. And I'm probably even missing things, but it's a great game. So
it sounds very content packed, and I like that.
And it's good content packed. It's like good. It's not like they're just throwing random stuff in there and it doesn't even work together. So for me, I'd say it's like an A, or I would say.
And it's $20.
I think it's about $20. I should look.
This sounds like a good deal. The only worry that I have is if I buy it, I'm going to get addicted.
You will.
But
do you like Pokemon?
Huh?
Do you like Pokemon?
I do, yeah. I've not played like every single Pokemon, but I've played, 3-4 games.
Yeah. Some of
I like it.
It's like a card-based thing, so it's different type of battling, but it's really fun. They can be a little long, but I think they even added things so it's not as long or something. But
it sounds like it's Pokemon, Animal Crossing. It's got all the stuff. I mean, it's more than that, obviously, but like has some elements.
Yeah, it pretty much is like a little bit of every fun game that's out there. A little bit of every cozy game.
So without playing it, I'm going to trust your thoughts, and we go A tier for Moonstone.
Yeah,
A tier for Moonstone Island. I will play this game at some point. I'm going to let you know how it is.
Yeah, I would love to know.
I got to play it at some point. But our next game here, I have played. I have some strong thoughts. Very strong thoughts. We have the new Denpa Men. So you've downloaded this. It's free for anyone who wants to download. It's free on the eShop right now. So there were, I'm going to go in. There were a lot of things going on with the new Denpa Men. So this game comes out, what I believe was, I'm losing track of time, but I think it was July 22nd. I could be, no, I think that's right. So July 22nd, I'm waiting all day for this game. I am working on some YouTube stuff, but I'm like, man, this evening. I'm going to play it. Here's the first red flag of the new Denpa Men. Before I even get into the game, it was out in, I think, every single region on the eShop except for the American region. So it came out at like midnight for UK and Japan. In the US, this came out at 10 p.m. Eastern time on release day. So not great. If you say that a game is releasing on a day and you drop it at 10 p.m. that day, not phenomenal. So I didn't end up playing it that day. I played it then the next day. And so I get into the game. First problem. And there's a lot of this. And people have brought it up. There's a lot of translation issues. There's a lot of broken English. There's a lot of if you just search Denpa Men translation on Google, there's a lot of examples that you will find of just sentences not making sense. It's not even there are some misspells, but it's not even typos. It's things that just don't make sense. I have no idea what I'm reading here. I'm not sure what he's trying to say to me. And that happens a lot. I played a few hours, tons of times. The other thing which really confuses me is, and I'll dive into what the game is in a second. I just got to dive into these.
You got to get this off your chest.
The other thing, which makes no sense to me, is I'm in a dungeon in the game. Yes, that's kind of part of the game. Caves, dungeons. Mm. And just like when I, say, for example, open a door in the game, this screen pops up and my screen gets dim. It says connecting. Why do you need my constant connection when I'm playing offline? It would just say, it would pause your game and say connecting. And what's there to connect me to? I'm in an offline dungeon, so I don't know what that's about. And then my final thing is microtransactions are not my favorite. When you die, you can pay $1 to come back.
I was wondering how they're making money on this.
Yeah, and honestly, I was tempted to do it because I died so far into one of these dungeons. So for Denpa Men, what it is, it's so similar. Min, have you played Miitopia?
I haven't, no.
Miitopia is a game. It's a turn-based combat type game. You have 4 Miis. In this case, you have 4 Denpa Men. And you go throughout this level. For Denpa Men, it's a dungeon. And you fight these enemies and pretty much get to the end of the dungeon or cave. Mm-hmm. And it's so much like it. All the Denpa Men attack. And that's kind of what the game has been. What's also cool is you can kind of decorate your own little island area. Yeah. That's really cool. Now that's really cool.
They made it look very Animal Crossing-y with the decorating in the direct and then their trailer. Mm-hmm. So I think I feel like they're trying to get the cozy gamers in on this one. But with the dungeons and stuff, did you think that was stressful, or was that relaxing or fun? Or
I would say it was relaxing because I feel if you're in a dungeon, it can't be. But it wasn't super intense. It was just kind of hit A and watch all the guys go do their thing. It's turn based, so it's not
oh yeah.
In Zelda, if you're fighting a boss, your heart's beating, your hands are sweaty because it's real time. You're doing everything. With this, it's just
down.
Attack, and then they go, they do it. Then the guy attacks you. It's calm in that regard.
Yeah. Okay.
But I wasn't happy, to say the least, after playing. I just there were a few issues, and I'm sure they'll get fixed over time, but
right.
When I see things like translation issues, and I'm sure that it wasn't a huge team who worked on this, it just turns me off in a way when there's
apparently
kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Apparently there were previous games of this series.
Yeah, I think on the 3DS they had some. I never played those. Have you, by any chance?
No, but I wondered if those were free, because I didn't know this was going to be free. But it's great that there's another free game on the eShop, but is this one just going to be a dud free game that's not really that fun, or is it going to get updates and be pretty good? It's also not even made by and published by Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
But it looks so much like Mii's.
It does. I'm not sure who makes it, but yeah, it's been around since 3DS. I think with a few patches, it'll be fine. So maybe give it like a month. Maybe they have a Twitter. I think they actively tweet stuff. Give it like a month, maybe more, because I'm not sure how big the team is, and it'll be fine. It's a cool game concept, dungeons, and if you've played Miitopia out there, it's kind of like Miitopia with a little bit more. I don't know where I rank it though.
Yeah, because it is free, so that gives it like, oh, that's free. Great. But it sounds like it's a C or a D right now. It could get better.
I think once it's fixed, if everything's fixed, I think it could at best be a B tier. But as of now,
I feel like because it's free, it's like, okay, if you have nothing else to play at all, you have no budget. Like, that's great. You can play this for free. Do you need to do microtransactions
No.
At all? No.
It's just like I had died one time, and then it was like, hey, pay $1, you can come back to life. I'm like, no. So I'm thinking C tier. It's not D tier totally, because like there's different parts. There's dungeons, and then there's decorate your island. Like, it's cool in that way. There's multiple things going on. Yeah. I'd say C. Could be a bit worse, and it is free.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a lot of replayability in that one?
I don't know how long the story goes. I would say I would lean towards no, because it's like once you finish all the caves and dungeons, you can decorate your island, but I'm not sure how replayable it is. So I would go C tier on this.
Okay, we'll go C.
we'll go C here. And then our next game is Little Friends. I'm so sorry, I can't read the text. What does it say?
Little Friends Puppy Island.
Puppy Island. I've played. I just like it's been a while. So Little Friends Puppy Island. A lot of people compare this one to Nintendogs.
Yeah, this one came out last year. Yeah, last year. It's super cute. I think it's a Switch exclusive. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, so this game, it's super cute. There's a bunch of different dogs you can find, and you can have multiple little puppies. I don't think they ever grow up, but you can have multiple puppies in the game. You can walk them. Once they go on a walk long enough, you're going to need to bring them home and give them a bath, and you can get them different outfits, different toys to play with. You can, when you play with them, you like raise their skills. You can also open up different parts of the map, and like say you open up the beach. Okay, you need to assign one of the dogs that you have there because it needs to like work there and do something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but so then your puppy is like not even at home now, so it's over there. But yeah, you can collect a bunch of different types and colors of different dogs. Like I have a pug mix, and there's pugs in the game, so I was like looking for that pug. But it's pretty fun, and I feel like it has a little more story or things to do maybe than Nintendogs did. So this is definitely a really good one for those people who really want to play a Nintendogs similar game. But I'm curious of your thoughts on it, because it's one of those games too that doesn't have tons of replayability, easy to fall off of, I'd say.
You are, by the way, killing it with these descriptions. I would have no idea how to like, put all of it into words. I like Nintendog clones. I have this other one that's called, I think it's called like My Universe Puppies and Kittens. It's not as good as this one though. And then other thing, I would love to create a realistic dog game. I would rate it M for mature. And I would actually, if you don't play for like months, I would kill the dog.
Oh my gosh. Well,
so wants you to replay the game. This is the problem with Nintendogs games. I'm just kidding. I would never want dogs to die.
Take that back.
It came off so bad. The whole delivery came off bad. I was just making
what I was going to say?
Here, yeah.
I was going to say that in the old Harvest Moon games, like the one I played on Game Boy, if you didn't take care of your animals, they would die.
Realistic.
And you'd have a little funeral for them. Like you'd wake up that day and be like, "Oh, sheepy died," and you'd have to be like saying bye.
That probably broke so many kids' hearts.
It taught me that I need to take care of my animals.
Yeah, but Little Friends, what's it called, right? Okay.
Little Friends Puppy Island.
The game's, I would say, probably the best Nintendogs clone.
Yeah.
I would say. And I don't even want to say that because it's as you said, it has a lot more than Nintendogs maybe offer.
Yeah.
Unlock more stuff. You can dress them up. You can get little outfits and stuff.
Yeah. Got to take them on a walk.
Take them on a walk.
You have some like platforming a little bit. Like you jump over these little parts to get to better places in the map and things. So they have to have certain skills. Maybe not platforming, but like something with they had to jump over these parts of the map and have the skill to be able to do that to get to that area. So it encourages you to play and like go to those areas in the map where you can throw the frisbee to it. So it gets more training.
Yeah, it's a neat, cozy. I mean, I'm like struggling with like what to go to here because you nailed it on the head. I just like it was fun. It's just not a game that I like go back to now, which unfortunately is the case with a ton of these games like Endless Ocean Luminous and Stardew. Like that's unfortunately what happens to a lot of these games. My dogs are dead, unfortunately. That's probably how it is.
Oh my gosh.
But Little Friends Puppy Island, I think, could be our first B tier game. Because it's
Yeah. I agree. I don't think it's as bad as Dreamlight Valley, which is in C, and Denpa Man and Endless Oceans. Like I feel like it's a good it's solid, it's good. They didn't really mess anything up. You know what I mean? Where Endless Ocean had some issues, Dreamlight Valley has some issues, Denpa Man has some issues. This one's pretty solid for what you want this game to be. Like, I think with a Nintendogs type of game, you don't expect it to be like the most replayable game in the world where you're building your dog's house or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a B is solid.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit more maybe more simple than Dreamlight Valley because, that's kind of extensive. But it's, I mean, as you said, good for what it is and what you need it to be. I say B tier.
Yeah.
B tier. We're going to drag it to B tier. And boom. Tier list is looking solid, but we have one more game to rank, and that is Fae Farm. I actually... Can we just talk about the price real fast?
A Fae Farm?
Yeah. So this was a full 60, right?
Yeah, and this was priced differently on... I think it came out on PC and Switch at the same time, and it was priced on PC with two different things. So you could get it cheaper on there, but on Switch, it was one price. You have to get the future DLCs with it. So when you're first paying for it, you don't even have the DLC. You're just you're paying for future DLC.
You're paying in advance. You gotta put your trust in them.
Yeah, but the DLC's out now, but...
That's always nice. I actually got this game for free.
So did I, actually.
It
takes away that payment stuff, but I know a lot of people were like, I was really looking forward to this. I was so excited, so...
I was lukewarm, kind of.
Yeah.
On Fae Farm. Like, before it had come out, I was like, you know what? I'll play it. Honestly, if I didn't get it for free, I'm not sure if I would have it right now. But I thought it was a real interesting take on the cozy game scene. First of all, coming in and pricing your game at $60, that's the most expensive cozy game that is not a Nintendo cozy game. Well, like mainstream ones anyway.
Yeah.
Like for the base game, which I don't want to knock it too much for its price. It has a lot of content. But the customization, like when I get into the game, I feel like I remember it being not the greatest. Am I wrong? Am I misremembering?
With what?
With like the customization, like making your character. Am I misremembering? Or
the customization wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. But this is how the characters look.
Yeah, they do look a bit weird. I'm gonna throw it on screen.
Yeah, they look like these Lego things. Their faces are very like kind of round, but not really. I don't know how to explain it, but they look very strange. Like the eye shapes or just the way they look is kind of weird. So in Fae Farm, it's obviously supposed to be a farming sim. I call it a mining game because most of the story in this is mining. Like it is just mining. And I played for the story, basically. It does seem to present like it has really cool decorating and stuff, but it's kind of hard to get decorations because you have to go buy them from certain places or unlock them. But there's some interesting skills you get for decorating like your house and stuff. Like you could get like stronger for some of the quests and stuff. And then there's NPCs that you can date and stuff, which people like because of the Harvest Moon franchise and Story Seasons games and Stardew Valley, you can do that. So they have that in there. So I think this one was definitely catering to the Animal Crossing Stardew fans. But then it just didn't sell, like it didn't do well with the world building completely. Like it didn't feel like anyone in the town did anything or made any sense. The festivals weren't good either. Like I forgot about them every time too. But yeah, so this one's good, but like I did enjoy playing the story, but I would say you do have to do some farming, but like I could ignore my animals, barely even go see them. Like there was it didn't feel like it was meshed together like very well. Like something's missing in this one. And the replayability compared to the other farming games on here just didn't feel as full. You had to wait for these updates. The first DLC was this like frog croakia area, and you kind of needed that at the beginning of the game. So I had already played the full story. So when I played that, I'm like, this is nothing for me. And now the new DLC that came out recently, like last month, is like a whole other area to explore. So that one's much better and adds more content. But how much did you play?
I played the usual, like the 5-10 hour range.
Okay.
I have a few points to make here. The whole DLC thing here, I don't hate DLC. And I didn't for Fae Farm. The only thing is, like, I have a problem with it when it feels like it's finishing the game. Like, with something like, you know, I'm not sure if you played this. Well, here, go to Animal Crossing. The DLC, like, Brewster, Cap'n, this all should have been there. And, you know, it wasn't DLC, it was updates. But, like, imagine if that was paid. Like, I would be pretty upset. Like, that should be in there. I feel like Fae Farm, as you said, had, you know, like, updates that should have been there at the start.
For Switch, they could definitely be called updates because you like had to get that when you bought this. You couldn't get it cheaper. So that's kind of, I think they should have had the two options.
A small nitpick. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say they could have had the two options, and then later, if you like really loved it, you could buy the DLC. I just don't understand why they did that.
Yeah, not the greatest, but I feel like, and maybe this is just me being slow. I have no idea. I feel like the introduction dragged a tiny bit. I feel like I was just, or not. Was it the introduction? I was just like going from place to place, like being told go here and go there. I feel like it dragged for a tiny bit. That's one thing that I remember.
Yeah, I remember that too. And then when you do unlock the mining areas, like what are they called? A Fae? I don't think they were called Fae Realms, but like one of the first ones called the Fae Realm. So you open these different areas of the map. I think there's 3 or 4 at the start of the game, and then the DLC adds another. But you get there, and then you work your way to the very last level of the mine, and then there you'll find a creature that you need to help, and this will help like the whole city of Azoria by helping this thing. And what you basically do is like you bring it certain crops or bundles or items. So that's pretty much the game.
Do you play on PC or Switch for Fae Farm?
I played most of this one on PC. So PC ran fine. Switch, I think it was one of those games that's like meant to launch on Switch. So how did it run?
I thought it ran fine. Like I didn't like. There's some games. What's the one Sandrock one? The My Time at Sandrock. That one didn't run good, right?
It didn't, but they patched that one now.
Okay, is it fixed?
It should be better. Yeah.
Okay, but at the start, that one ran terribly, and I didn't play it enough to like add it to our whole list here, so I just didn't put it on. But that one was bad. Fae Farm, I feel like, runs a lot better than.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I thought it would run. I honestly thought it would run not the greatest, pretty poor. I would say that it runs fine. It's like pretty.
Yeah.
It's playable. It's good. It's good playable.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to put it.
Yeah, but for the people that like farming games, like more life simmy games, I would say it does have some really good like mechanics when it comes to the farming and when it how the tools like auto swap, you don't have to go through your inventory, they don't take up space in your inventory. So there were things they did really well, but like the game didn't feel like it was meshed together. I don't know, it didn't feel
I understand that.
Immersed. I didn't feel immersed as I thought I'd be. I also had this huge hype expectation, and then I was like, okay. But I played the full story, so I did play through this one. And I liked it. I liked it. I wouldn't say for this it's like a C though. Yeah.
From our conversation, well, I am kind of getting B or C tier. B is probably the best because I'm not sure if it's not as low as C tier, I don't think. But I'm not sure if it's A tier either.
I don't think it's A tier.
I think,
you know, maybe when I first played it and I was so liking it at the time, but you know, when we talk about how like that feeling kind of fades off a bit, I feel like this had kind of started going lower. And like, I haven't even gone back to play the DLC. And I have that, and I haven't gone back. So I feel like I'm just kind of like, I finished the game, I'm done with it, and I didn't want to keep playing to do other things. I also, what do you do after you finish the story? Like, there really isn't that much to do.
I actually don't know. And even with like the people that I've seen play it for content or streams, I'm not like, you know, calling people out. I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen people like stream it for weeks on end. Like, it just seems like you finish it and you're kind of done.
It falls off. Yeah, for sure.
So we're thinking B tier. Do we agree on B tier? Okay.
Fae Farm B tier.
Fae Farm and B tier. That is our tier list complete. I will read it off for people who have forgotten. If you're looking at the video version, you can see it, but I will go over it once again. At S tier, we got Animal Crossing New Horizons and Stardew Valley. At A tier, we have Moonstone Island. B tier, we have Little Friends Puppy Island. I remember the name. At B, also Fae Farm. C tier, we have Disney Dreamlight Valley and the new Denpa Men. And at D tier, we have our good old friend Endless Ocean Luminous.
I think this is pretty solid. I think we did a good job. List. And we didn't fight.
No. The only things that we're missing is like my fault because I have not played Story of Seasons. I haven't played.
Hey, that's
what are the other good ones?
There are some good ones on there. Oh, Roots of Pacha. That's one of my favorites.
I have no idea what that is, unfortunately. I'm so sorry.
You got to play that. That's getting an update next week. 1.2 update. So that one's on Switch. That one's fairly new from last year, and it had a really difficult launch because like the publisher and developer broke up like right after it released, and then they released.
Broke up?
Yeah. They had falling out, and then they basically later on launched to Switch. I'm glad they still got on there without the publisher, but yeah.
So what are like the 3 cozy games that you would recommend I play? Or any of our listeners? Like the big 3 that maybe are not on this tier list.
Well, I haven't even played this and it's not out yet, but I feel like I want to hear your thoughts when that Hello Kitty adventure game comes out, because it follows like a loop of Animal Crossing, like how the daytimes work, and people love that game on iPad.
People thought I was joking. I'm playing that game day one. People think I'm joking when I say that.
I really want to hear your thoughts on that. But let's see. I would definitely play a little more Stardew Valley on your own and see if you can get into it. Definitely Moonstone Island. I know that one's on here. But for more Switch games that are more developed for the Switch, the Story of Seasons games, I did like Friends of Mineral Town a lot. Another Wonderful Life, A Wonderful Life that's on there, I don't think you would like because it's a remake of a GameCube game, so it's very like outdated, not modern. It's more follow the story, do some really basic things each day, and then go to bed and then do it again tomorrow. But yeah, so would you say there were some other cozy games you've played that I didn't play that we didn't put on the list? Like, did you play the Little Gator game?
Little Gator game was tremendous.
Okay.
That one was great. I saw it in some, like, not in a direct, but it was posted on, I think, the Nintendo YouTube channel. I saw it, and I was like, that looks like fun. Got it. And that one was really, you should play that one. That one was really good. It's similar. I've seen so many games. It's like that, not sure how to put it, but it's like that bubbly, do you know like when you talk to NPCs like in the game, they have like this bubbly text font. It's like one of those like those types of games, you know? And so I think it's like $20, not too bad. And then a short hike in the name.
I heard that one's like, amazing.
It's like an hour long. It's very short, as you know, once again, in the name. That one's fun. I got it on sale. I'm not sure how much it is like normally, but I once got it on sale for like $2. Like that's like one of the cheapest when it's on sale. I think it's usually like $5-10, but when it's on sale, $2 easy. Okay. So I would give you those two to play.
Yeah. I was trying to say, if you like those games, maybe you'd like, what is this game? I don't know. There's one called Haven Park. I don't know if that's on Switch, but it's called The Last Campfire. That one's pretty good. It's more puzzly based, but it's really fun. So if you like some of those games, or I don't know.
It sounds cozy. And then last thing, have you ever played Lake?
Yeah.
That one I've been looking into, and I've heard a lot of good things, but I never bought it.
I don't think it runs well on the Switch.
Okay, so Steam Deck is the best bet here. Okay.
Do you have a Steam Deck?
I do.
You do, yeah.
Mostly though for emulation purposes. But I do have a little bit of a Steam library.
Yeah. So that one's really good and really fun and relaxing, and you drive around in it's like GTA for cozy gamers with all that stuff. You're delivering mail.
Does it get like repetitive though, because you keep on you're kind of like delivering mail the whole time?
I think it would if the days were super long, but because it's like a short little like gameplay loop of like, okay, you wake up, you deliver, some of the people you deliver to will talk to you, and other people, like, you just drop it in their mailbox, so you kind of get some story along the way. And yeah, it's a good game. I like it.
I should play that one. Sorry, last thing. We're in the cozy game thing. I was thinking of adding this because I know that you've played it, I think. Because I was looking at your channel and like putting games on here that you had played. It's not on Switch, so I didn't add it, but Dinkum.
Yeah.
That's a fun one, right?
That's a great game. That's
a good one.
On Steam only. It's an early access, but it doesn't feel like early access at all. It's been in early access for a long time.
If that's early access, what's the full game going to be? Because it's so good already.
I don't know. It has so much in it, and it's really good. It's really fun, and I really like that game. I haven't played it in a while though.
Neither, but while I did play it, it was like hours on end. I'm playing Dinkum. Like, it was good. But that's our ranking for the cozy games here. Now it is time to get to everyone's favorite segment, the Answering Your Question segment, where we, me and Min, answer your questions you have left us. Are we ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's skadoodle on over there. My friends, you have made it to the world's greatest segment, the Answering Your Questions segment, where me and Min answer your questions you left for us. Quick little instructions. If you do want to leave a question for the podcast, there is one way and one way only to do it, if you subscribe to my main YouTube channel called EmSwizzle, that is EmSwizzle, and you look at my channel on the community tab every single Wednesday morning, I put a post that has a cursed Nintendo image on it. It says, hey, hope you're well, ask questions, goodbye. And the reason why I do it there is because that's my biggest written form area that I can reach people, so that's why I do it over there. If you want to find it easy though, the link's down in the description. Click the link that says sources and links, and you'll see a link to my community tab over there. Lots of explaining to do. But, oh, by the way, Mint, did you by chance see when I put up the community post, the image for it?
No. What is it?
Okay, so have you ever seen Despicable Me or heard of it?
Yeah.
You know Gru, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Kirby, like with Gru's face.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Oh,
so
where did you find that, or do you make these in your spare time?
I find them. People think that I make them, and I'm honored that people think that I'm that talented. I am not. I search up cursed Nintendo images, and I just find one.
You should do the next one, but put your face on Kirby.
Oh, there we go. I should do that. You know what? I might do that. If I can remember to do so, I will do it. I will do that. That's a fire. That's a good one. But yeah, I don't ever make them, unfortunately. But our first question, by the way, when I was putting these questions on here, I noticed, I think I actually deleted some now because we had some, no, I didn't. There are 2 pet profile pictures for the questions, the first one and the third one. These are some cute pets here. Actually, I'm not sure if the first one, if that's their actual cat. I think that's like a
It's like licking the camera.
No idea. But our first question comes from That's Crazy. And they ask, simple stuff, what game would you like to replay for the first time? I'm going to start with you, then I'll answer.
That's a hard one. I like to have my experiences of the game. I mentioned it already in here before, but it is my favorite game. But Harvest Moon, More Friends in Mineral Town, it was like my favorite game when I was younger. And when I was now older and tried to go back and play it, I didn't feel that same feeling about it. Yeah. So I guess I'd kind of go the easy route and say that one for me.
That's a good one, though. I would say, honestly, in this game, it didn't even come out a year ago.
Ooh.
This is a recent one. And so I would say Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And the reason being, I've always loved Mario games, but the only time, because I became like a bigger Nintendo fan in like 2021. So this is the first Mario Bros. Game. Not that I've played, obviously, but like the first one that I've consumed every part of. So I was there for the announcement, I was there for all the promo, and then I was there on launch day. I consumed the entire thing. And because of all that, the moment putting it into the Switch was like, it was just such a cool moment. And when I boot it up, when I turn on the game and I hear all the cool music, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the game that I've been seeing for, it wasn't that long, like 4 months or so.
Yeah.
It's freaking here, the newest Mario game. It was like a really, really good experience that day.
Yeah.
Even just like, do you remember when they were like, when they had a demo for the game, but it was like only at like Target, like on the little kiosk
Oh yeah.
things?
Yeah, people were going there and like, yeah.
I went like 4 times. Like I went so many times. I was so hyped.
They knew you at Target.
Oh man. And so there was some girl when I was there. She came over to the kiosk and she was like, "Wait, is that the Wonder game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing." Like I can't believe that it's on the kiosk. That was a real fun game to experience for the first time. And I would love to do it again.
People were trying to beat it because I think it like had a 4-hour cap or something on there, and they're trying to beat it in like how long that demo was at Target.
I think it was only like a few like levels or something.
I don't remember what it was, but
I don't know.
I just remember people were like trying to. I think it was that one, but.
Christian asks, "What is your opinion on using treasure islands in Animal Crossing New Horizons?" Listen, there's a lot of spicy takes on this. I want to get yours.
I think in the beginning, well, I didn't really know about them, but in the beginning, I was that Animal Crossing fan that was like, I don't skip time ever. I'm not time traveling. No, that's illegal. But then later, like when I go back and play, I will time travel. Make it easier for yourself.
Yeah.
And treasure islands, they're so nice. It's just annoying to wait and get on the treasure island, but once you're there, oh my gosh, it makes it so much easier to do the decorating and stuff. So I don't have a strong opinion on them, like against them. I think they're useful and it's kind of nice.
Yeah. I'm the same way as you. When I was first playing New Horizons, I never ever, not once in the previous games ever time traveled. I was not an Animal Crossing purist because like I feel like there were some people who were almost like mad at people who would time travel and do that kind of stuff. Like it was like, I'm not sure if I'd say weird, but like we're getting mad at strangers for time traveling. It's just
your game.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. I will say that. But I was like, no time traveling, no treasure islands. Let's play the game fair. And it wasn't until like mid 2021, so like a bit over a year after, I started time traveling. Mainly because I was making content on it. I'm not sure if you know, before I was like doing shorts, I was a full-on Animal Crossing New Horizons YouTuber. So I kind of had to time travel for doing content. But that's off topic. Treasure Islands, what do I think? I had never actually been to a treasure island until, honestly, I think a month ago. Do you want to know why? Because I got back into Animal Crossing and I needed max bells. So now, Nintendo, don't ban me, but I've got max bells in my ABD right now.
Yeah.
My thoughts on them, if you play that way where you are not opposed to getting free items from people, God bless. Like, treasure islands are great. Like, have at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it, really. I mean, I was going to go on more, but like, they're fine. Like, have some fun. Go get those items. Why not? If you play that way, why not? I feel.
Good question, though. Good question.
Yeah, great question. Kia984 asks, what is your favorite Pokemon?
I'm boring. I've only played like one Pokemon game all the way through, so my first real introduction was in like Smash Bros, like playing Jigglypuff and stuff.
Yep.
So I feel like I don't have a definite one, but what's yours?
Mine is a weird one. So mine is Stantler. Stantler is like this reindeer looking thing. I think, he's a deer. I just get reindeer and deer. Are reindeer a thing, or is that like a Christmas?
No, they're real.
Okay, that's a real thing.
They just don't fly.
They don't fly. Okay, so I think Stantler is a deer. Something about him. Me and him.
Yeah.
Boom. That was what it was.
There are so many cute ones. I just don't remember all the names because I need to play more.
Like, I was trying to figure out one day who my favorite Pokemon is, and I was scrolling through, and I was like, you.
That you just chose.
I chose him, just like I choose you.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
No I chose him. There we go. I said I choose you. Stantler is my favorite. But what do you lean, Jigglypuff? If you
guess so. I need something pink, right? Because I love pink.
I can tell.
Isn't there a cow one, like Milk Tank or something? Or what's it called? I'm
not too familiar with the whole Pokemon world, but honestly, I feel like what is there not at this point?
Yeah. Everyone always thinks I should like that one. So
there might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest Pokemoner.
Okay. You make me feel better.
Expect a Ghost asks, how well do you think Nintendo has been listening to us Nintendo fans?
I always am wondering this. Because I'm watching like everyone's video about Switch 2 prediction, what they want for the Switch 2 for years. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if they'll listen to that. Oh, that's a really good idea. Do they hear any of this though? I mean, they gotta be listening because like, I don't know. I just feel like they're on top of things. Like they know who to sue. I feel like they're looking around.
Exactly.
But if you mean listening as like making games that we want in the background or things, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I think they've never listened better.
Okay.
Because did you watch? So you've watched the direct, right? The recent one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you don't just bring back Mario and Luigi like as a game. That series has been dead for what, like 6 years or like 7 years. I feel like you don't just bring that back unless you hear very high demand for it. Something like all the remakes and remasters. I don't know if you know, when you make a remake or a remaster, if you just reach into a hat and, all right, which game are we going to remaster today? Like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I think they knew like everyone would go nuts for that.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a great job of listening. But they could bring me the Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess games.
You just made me think. People have been saying for so long, like, why can't you play as Zelda? And I'm pretty sure that's going to be in that game. Like, I know people were kind of taking it back, like, no, you play as Link, but I'm pretty sure you play as Zelda. Like, it's in the trailer.
Yep. So I think it's mostly Zelda. The Link rumors came because when like the ESRB, who like rates all the games, like E for Everyone, they put out a description for it and they said that Link is playable, but I think it's mostly Zelda.
Yeah.
I think it's
like
so 95% Zelda.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Should be good. But yeah, I think they've been listening pretty good. Doggo asks, would you rather be a Yoshi or a Waddle Dee? Waddle Dees are from Kirby, right? I mean, I know. I'm trying to like make sure that you know the question here.
You're like, I know.
No. I just like didn't want to sound like a
no, I know.
Non-Nintendo. I don't know.
Oh, I'm answering. Okay.
Oh yeah. Sorry. For you.
Like, come on, Yoshi. I would say Yoshi. Because I could be a pink Yoshi. I think Yoshi's so cute. And yeah, I just like, that's literally why I choose Yoshi. Nothing cool, just running around as a little dino.
I think I'd be Yoshi too. Because what's cool about Yoshi is you never actually die. Have you ever played, I mean, well, I guess nowadays you might. But in like Mario Bros. Wii, you would ride on Yoshi. You can't play as Yoshi, but like Mario would ride on Yoshi. And Mario can die. You can run into a Goomba and you can get hit.
Yeah.
And game over. With Yoshi though, if he gets hit, he runs around or he runs off a cliff. He never dies. Yoshis can't die. And if me being a Yoshi means that, you know, I can live a peaceful life, then I'm down. And I didn't really play as Yoshi in Mario Wonder, but isn't he invincible? Right? Is that right? So you know what? You actually can't die.
I think so. Yeah.
You cannot die.
Well, I'm glad I picked that one because that was a good answer. Stealing your answer too.
Yoshi cannot die. The Bear King 2546 asks, "Do you have a favorite Nintendo game? If so, what is it?"
Well, I feel like by default it's Animal Crossing, but I got so into Pikmin 4. I played it for like a collab YouTube video I was doing, where I played other YouTubers like S tier ranked games, and one of them was Pikmin 4, and I'm like, I'm not gonna like this, but I loved that game so much. It's definitely become one of my favorite games, Nintendo first party. So
yep. Pikmin 4 was a gem, and I feel bad for anyone who's not picked it up. Like that game is so good, and it's lengthy too. Like that's what's very great. Unfortunately, though, people will not be surprised by my answer. Do you know what it is?
Oh, I have no idea what it could be.
It's Animal Crossing New Leaf.
New Leaf. Okay.
New Leaf on the 3DS.
Yeah, I was thinking like Switch, but you're going like full out Nintendo all time.
And I wish I would want nothing more than for that game to get remastered. Let me ask you this: so, was your first Animal Crossing on the Switch, right? It's New Horizons. Would you be opposed to an Animal Crossing, I guess, remaster? Like, you know, say they bring the Wii version, Animal Crossing City Folk, to Switch. Would you be opposed to playing that, even though that there's no like furniture outside? There's no, I mean, there is online multiplayer, but it might not be very good. Like, does it make it worse for you because it's kind of like a step back from New Horizons, or would you still welcome the HD version?
So you want them to just remaster it. It's the same thing.
I would love that, but everyone's saying like it'll never happen because it's so different from New Horizons. Like in New Horizons, you can do outside furniture. In the old games, you can't do that. It would kind of annoy people. Would that annoy you?
I think I would rather, as a newer Animal Crossing player, see them take the good things of those games and put it into the new one and actually do it right. Because I don't know how well that would be received from people because Animal Crossing New Horizons is definitely the most played, like most popular Animal Crossing game.
Yeah.
So I would say that's what would do better for them if they just like had a whole nother game, but incorporated all of that stuff that people are like, oh, that was from this game. And that, I don't know how a remaster would do. I think Animal Crossing players would play it, but I think people are saying is right. Like they might be disappointed. Like, ugh, it's an old game or something.
Would you prefer a spin-off or a remaster? A spin-off as in like a Animal Crossing dungeon game or something like that.
Like Animal Crossing, like say it was the home designer was its own game type of thing.
Yeah, say if it was like that could be a spin-off in a sense.
It depends what they do. I guess I would, now you're tricking me into this. I would say I would prefer the remaster then because you'd have probably more to do.
Yeah, probably because if you have a new, like a old Animal Crossing game as opposed to like the Happy Home Paradise, there probably is more to do. Yeah,
more variety.
I could see that. I would honestly, I would prefer a spin-off just because like because we have the old games. So like to see something new would be nice. But I don't know.
That's true too.
I hope they don't take too long for the next Animal Crossing game. And speaking of the next Animal Crossing game, our next question comes from a pretty interesting username. Their name is the Luigi Matter. They have totally flipped the podcast name, and I think their logo, they have crossed out the word Mario in the logo. So the Luigi Matter asks what we were just talking about. What do you want to see in the next Animal Crossing?
I feel like you should start with this because I don't have the experience of those other games.
I have one word, but I'll make it longer. Cars. But I'll keep going on. I want cars. I want cars simply because, you know, I'm not going to act like that it takes very long to get from point A to point B on an Animal Crossing island. But imagine just driving around, even like a motorcycle running over villager. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But just like
the cars in the game right now are just sitting there.
I mean, so like you can drive it. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to be able to use it.
Yes, like give me a button when you walk up to it that says drive. Like press X to drive.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I would also like, I'm going to say two more things and then I'll go to you. I would like, kind of like how we were talking about bringing things back from old games. The Wii Animal Crossing had this city that you would go to. You would go to the city and you could shop at these different places like the, you know Harriet, like the pink poodle lady thing? She had her own shop. An NPC who's not in New Horizons called Gracie. She ran like pretty much a designer store. There was a comedy show place. Like it was a city with a bunch of different stores. And I think I would want that back because pretty much the equivalent of that right now is Harv's Island. And that's not like Harv's Island is not the most exciting place to go. Like you have all the NPCs there, but you're just out in the open in some random field. Like go into a city, I feel like means something. So
yeah,
I would want the city to come back. And then I'll say one more thing. Sorry if I'm like stealing what you plan on saying, but like one thing I need here is better multiplayer. Not only like meaning that I don't want people to, to disconnect. I want smoother multiplayer and I want more to do. I want like mini games or something. Because if me and you got in an island right now, what are we doing? Like what? There's nothing.
You get the island tour and it's like, bye.
Island tour, nothing to do. If we're not trading or doing an island tour, There's not much. There's
Yeah.
really not a whole lot. So I would want some mini games or something. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to you.
I agree with that. I would want better multiplayer. I would also want like unlimited storage or something.
Yes.
Because it's just it caps, and then you're like, okay, now your whole room is just full of random stuff because you don't have any storage for it. And I know they added some more later with one of the updates, but I would like that just to make it nicer to play. This one's kind of controversial because part of me is like, I don't know if I want this or if I don't want this, because I feel like people's builds are so intricate and so impressive because of the terraforming and how long it takes. But for myself, it's just takes so long sometimes to edit like how you want to do it, like your shovel, so maybe making it a little faster or more like some options for it.
Like one more big thing that I would love to see is, when you do a home in Happy Home Paradise or even like design your own home, they put you in that like top down mode where you can just like access your storage easy, put things down easy, move things around very easy. Like you were just saying, like I want that for the whole island. That's
what I want too. But I feel like the builds are so impressive because people had to dig each hole and like, terraform the whole island. But yeah, I agree. It would make it more fun for me personally.
And the only other problem with that is you could potentially be speeding up Animal Crossing in a way that's not an Animal Crossing way. Like speeding up Animal Crossing, making it not Animal Crossing. I feel like if you were to make the game not Animal Crossing, you would take away the real world clock. You would take away the holidays. At that point, if you do that, it's not even Animal Crossing anymore. Animal Crossing is a slower paced game. I feel like if you make building faster, you're done faster. Like that's kind of what I worry about.
I think that's their thought too.
Yeah. So maybe we're not getting the crazy build mode.
Even if when you upgrade your tool or something, that maybe it could dig more areas at a time or something, or something like that, or an easier way to do it. That's still in the timeline that they like. Also, now that I bring up the tools, if they didn't break, that would be kind of nice.
Oh my god, please. Like, it's ridiculous that even the gold ones break. Like, those ones shouldn't break.
Yeah, at least those ones. Like, come on.
Should not break. But our final question, Let's Go Gaming. What do you want, a Donkey Kong movie or a Luigi's Mansion movie? Which one are you going to a theater and seeing? Which one are you getting that large popcorn for? And you're sitting down? Heck yeah.
I would see both, but I feel like at the end of the Mario movie, they kind of hint towards, or like in the movie, they could hint towards like that Luigi's Mansion one. Yeah. Which I think would be really good. So, but I loved a Donkey Kong as a kid. I don't know. This is so hard. I guess I kind of lean towards Luigi's Mansion, but I feel like Donkey Kong would be somewhat more interesting and bright and like, I don't know. So that's a tough one.
Give me a R-rated Luigi's Mansion movie. Give me an R-rated Luigi. I'm kidding, but give me a friendly, like a child acceptable horror Luigi's Mansion. Like it's not gonna spook any 6-year-olds, but give me like a spooky Luigi's Mansion movie. That's what I'd like. I like your pick too, though.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong will be bright.
Yeah,
but
I think Luigi's Mansion is more likely right now. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you even do like with a Donkey Kong movie? Like,
I don't know, but they have the actors already because there's Donkey Kong in Mario. Yeah. I think they're gonna do Luigi though, because if they do, I don't know, because I think like he's obviously way more popular. He has his own games. Yeah, that would be really interesting, and people loved him in the Mario movie with how he was like, I don't know, just building bravery and stuff and good character building.
Are you excited for the Zelda movie?
I don't know if I'm excited or like scared.
Yeah, I'm terrified, honestly.
I hope it's good. I'm kind of excited, I guess, though. I'm definitely seeing it, whether it's great or awful.
Yeah, because it's live action, so
Yeah.
it's like, honestly, I might find it hard to not like be cringing at the trailer. I don't know. Like it might.
What's he gonna say? Anything?
No idea. Yeah, like what does Link say? He just grunts all the time.
Yeah.
Ugh,
and I don't want him to say anything, but I don't know how they would do that.
Yeah, because that almost like ruins the character. It's like when you have a guy who doesn't talk and then he talks, it's like just so out of the box. It's like not what you would expect.
Yeah.
But he's your main character. You can't have him say nothing. So it's so weird. I'm really worried for that movie. With the Mario movie, sorry, I'm like going on a tangent here. With the Mario movie, it's animated. It's by Illumination. They're really good. This should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
With Zelda, it's live action. I'm so worried. I need the cast of actors ASAP, and that's how I'll know if it's good.
That's gonna be interesting to be revealed.
And honestly, I wouldn't doubt that it'll be revealed soon, because I think the movie, I might have it wrong because it's been so long, but I think it comes out in like 2026. I might have it wrong. No.
I don't know.
That could be wrong. That could be wrong. Or no. The Mario movie comes out.
Oh,
in
yeah.
2020. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Wait, no, I don't know.
The Mario movie 2 comes out in 2026. I don't know if the Zelda movie was given a release date. I mean, it was like over a year ago it was announced, so I kind of forget now. But whenever that comes out, I feel like we should be getting the actors soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, I mean, as I said, it's been over a year, I think, since it was announced. They should give me something.
Yeah, it says like a late 2026 maybe for Zelda.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that's just speculation.
Yeah. If it is that, you have 2 years pretty much. I think we gotta hear something soon. I think that we won't get trailers for like a year before it comes out. But I want to know who's acting in it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. But we have no more questions, right? That is a wrap for the Mario Matter episode. Min, you were on episode 99.
I know. One short of 100. Doing
Episode
something cool
100.
next time.
We're doing something cool. We're doing a lot of cool things, actually. Should I go ahead and tell the people? Well, you listen to the show, right? So you're gonna get the exclusive here. Are doing so. We're starting with news as always. This is the episode 100 timeline for those who want to know. This is big stuff.
Okay.
We're gonna start with news. It's a solo episode. I will be giving out 4 to 5 Nintendo eShop gift cards throughout the entire thing.
Aww.
Then I'm not sure what order actually. I think it'll be flip-flopped around, but I will dive into my top 100 video games of all time.
100. That makes sense for
Yes.
episode 100.
It's a lot, and that'll be the most of the podcast because that is a lot of games. Like if I talked about each one hypothetically for like a minute, that's 100 minutes of runtime. And I'll probably go longer than that. So like it's going to be a long show. Then I'm going to react to not the entire thing, but parts of the first ever Mario Matter episode. And then I think I know what it'll be, but I won't say it because it's not finalized. I'm going to be ranking something.
Okay.
It's some episode 100.
That's going to be awesome. Well, congrats on 100 episodes next week. Wait, you got more.
Thank you.
Wait.
I shouldn't say this. So there's a catch to the answering your questions segment, but I will be taking questions. There's a catch though. I'll tell you once we're off, but I can't say it because if I were to say this, people are going to take advantage like crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you once we're off. But yes, episode 100 next week, next Saturday, August 3rd. Look forward to it. You are our last guest ever. No, I'm kidding. You are our last guest before 100. So thank you, Min, for coming on. Where can the people find you online?
Yeah. My channel on YouTube, MintendoGaming, one word. M, not N. Don't sue me, Nintendo.
Mintendo.
Yeah, Mintendo. My name's Min. And then I also stream on Twitch about 3 times a week. Same username, MintendoGaming. And I'm on other socials too, but like Twitter and trying with the short form stuff. I'm not a pro like you, but
No.
yeah.
It's all good stuff. Thank you for coming on. I will see you next week for episode 100, and we'll get Min on. We'll get Min back on when cozy games are I mean, they're always popping, but like when there's some big stuff, we will have you back on.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you all for listening. I will see you all next week. Adios.